Hello and welcome to SF1 Season Oper. We're in Australia and it's going to be a good one. I'm here with, yes, my name's Abir, or Sam, as we're going to call him tonight. How you doing?
Not too bad. Getting really excited for this season to start popping off.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think we're going to have a good race today. Obviously, we've got qualifying to start us off. We're going to be skipping Q1, so people that want to can do two laps to ease themselves into acclimatise themselves to the track. After they've done that, they'll retire from the session. So we'll skip Q1, go straight into Q2 for you guys. Saves 18 minutes slog. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So let's go. I say.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can get one or two of the drivers in the Twitch chat to let us know about the weather. It looks pretty clear so far though, so bodes well. Should be decently quick times. We
Yeah,
do
it's
only have
looking
12
good at the
drivers. We
moment.
might we might have a 13th coming in and joining us. Have some illnesses and other stuff going on for a couple of the people. We'll have 16 normally though. So use the first
Right.
one
So
out. First TV time of the new
that's,
season.
yes, indeed.
Looks like Lonely Plains.
Yeah, it is. Lonely Plains is out first. He'll be taking to the track for his flying
Then
lap,
it's
followed
Neglect right
by
behind him.
Haas. I
Kakashi
think
does
so.
his classic, always retiring early.
Straight out of that.
So it's Lonely, then Neglect, then Jugstar. Making it easy, all right
Seems
together.
to come in the game. Oh, okay.
Lonely
That was
Plains
Lonely
has
Plains decided
crashed.
to just spin it straight, yep,
Oh,
straight into
yeah,
third
yeah.
corner.
So
I don't think there was.
we'll see if it lets him qualify in Q2 or not. He might be starting last.
He might be starting last indeed. Don't
That is
know
the one
whether that
downfall
was
of
fully intentional when he did,
yeah.
but
The one downfall of practice laps is potentially, just completely souring your qualifying chances.
yeah, I always dread to push too hard in a situation like this, just in case that happens. You never know. Anything could happen. It's not really worth it to risk it too much. Just go out and figure out what the track's doing and
Yeah.
what your setup's looking like. Really, there's no need to do anything too serious.
I'm just on with Neglects here as he starts his lap.
I'll follow you there. Sit on board with him into the first corner, get an idea of how fast he's able to throw it in, so give the viewers a chance to understand what they're running with at the moment.
Looks pretty solid through there. Jugstar still right behind him. Kimi and Kakashi, the only two choosing not to take their practice laps. We'll see if everyone follows the new rules and sticks to two or not. There's Druid.
It'll be interesting if everyone read uh,
Yeah.
the long old rule book, but
Bob, the flop
there to help
retires.
us. So.
Hope he was not on track.
Watching Neglect, it's looking fairly solid. The track looks fairly grippy. I can only tell it does seem a little
Yeah.
understeery, which is sort of
This is the
expected.
chicane right here for me. Ooh, bit wide there for Neglect. He does have a car in front of him as well. I think that's actually his teammate in front of him, SF1 Mel.
I think it may well be.
Yeah, it is. Kind of a shaky third sector here for Neglect, if I'm being honest. Looks a little twitchy.
Yeah,
Good
well, I
exit there,
noticed
though.
into the first corner, it just seemed a little bit understeery, but yeah, as you've said, going into the final sector, it was a
26-1
little
for
bit
Neglect. 22-8.
uncomfortable.
Wow, a lot better for Jugstar. No holding back for Jugstar.
No, definitely not.
Seth going into the second sector. Handicap's just in front of him. Mo gets a touch of grass, still in front of Neglect. So I think it's going to be handicaps and then Seth coming across.
Steph at the moment. Seth 203. 05. Sit on board with him. Into the fast chicane, get an idea of how comfortable he looks.
It's a pretty good lap for Andy.
Slow.
23.4 P2. Ooh, Goomba went 24.8, missed that.
It was just before handicaps.
Yeah. These are practice, so it'd be interesting to see if people are sandbagging or going full out like it appears Jugstar might have been.
I'm not sure if there's much of an if. I'm pretty sure. I'm definitely sure that most people will be unwilling.
Just getting their eye in. Yeah.
SF1 MOH.
Mo goes 25.6. See what Cardinal's got.
Cardinal.
Bit of a bunch up on Sector 1 there.
Oh, he's gone wide, touched the grass, and that's
Ooh, 2 retirements.
I wish I could have shown the viewers a decent view of that, but the F1 broadcast wasn't very good.
Yeah, it happens. Oh yeah, coming there onto the back straight is not great. Seth collects the wall. So Neglect, Goomba, and Jugstar have all completed.
Oh, Andy's just posted a almost identical lap time to Jugstar.
Yeah.
22.816. Jugstar put 22.818.
Jugstar retired on track. That's going to be a penalty for him. He obviously didn't read the rules.
Fortunate to see you now.
Mo retired from the session. I think Mo was on track as well. So that'll be another penalty. You guys got to read.
It's not looking good for some of them.
That's alright.
It takes us 5 minutes to read a bit of paper. But
Yeah, that's alright. Druid left. I'll see if I can get him back in.
just watching Caps, he's a lot faster this lap. See if he's decided to up his game a little bit. Here's a little practice teaser almost. Sector 3 flag.
Ooh, Andy and Goomba almost collided there.
Heated exchange between them, I'm guessing, on the chat maybe.
Only 2,000 separating P1 and P2 currently. Could get spicy.
It really is tight, isn't it? It's nice to see.
Seth's gonna run out of battery.
Top two there. Yeah, he seems to almost already given up, so.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the final 3 drivers to
Pull it in.
Tyre. We'll move on to Q2.
Andy's in the pit lane. Goomba's on his way there.
I'm sure Steph will be coming in.
He doesn't look like he's coming in.
No, I was thinking that.
And
I
he
don't
stays
think
out.
That is third lap.
Technically it's his second flying lap, I think.
It does state
So,
consecutive.
Yeah. So as long as he retires on this one, I'd be fair about that.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Uber retires from the pit. Andy should be retiring from the pit. Seth should be coming in.
Now. Give you all a nice view of Seth as he finishes off for us.
Just a quick shout out to our
much,
viewers.
but it's yeah, of course. Yeah, 11 viewers, looking good. It might not be
Holding
much,
strong already.
but just having this short little 2 laps or a few laps round it doesn't just give us an idea of who's where or what people can do. It does sort of, but it really does help the drivers figure out what they can do for Q2 and 3. So it's almost, I'd say, a little bit lucky of them to have a small grid today. But
Yeah. Yeah, I personally like doing 1 or 2 practice laps if I can, just to sort of settle my nerves a little bit, because I think Steph's out of fuel. I get so I get so like tense running through time trials and going. Oh, Andy's going back out. Sweet. So that'll be a penalty for Andy. Uh, I I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, about practice laps. It's just about kind of settling nerves for me. Just like, okay, here's what it's going to be like with max fuel and max ERS and all that, and just sort of like one race pace lap and one qualifying pace lap would be perfect for me.
It would be ideal, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I do like. I like to go out really early to try and get just a. No, not trying to set anything. Just an early few laps
Right.
to do exactly what you said. Just to
Right.
figure it
And
out,
and
make
sometimes
feel
you'll
more
get lucky.
comfortable.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll get lucky and set a banker and your banker is decent and people will crash out or people will invalidate and not get through so you don't have to burn an extra set of tires to set a faster lap or any sort of number of reasons to go out and at least set a decent banker lap. I almost always am one of the last ones across the line just because I like the pressure for my very fastest lap, but that can come back to bite me. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
serious about setting a banker lap just because I need it.
Yeah, I do similar things really.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's each to their own. Like it, some people maybe faster than us that don't do anything of the sorts. But being comfortable in it is a high pressure situation. It may just be an online league race, but it means a lot to us. So
Right.
you want to win. You want to be the fastest. Having your best friends or a couple of your mates or people that you like spending your time with, breathing down your neck the whole time, having close battles and stuff. It does get to you.
And
Just as
and
much as
knowing
maybe a real race.
knowing that they're gonna shit talk you if you completely bottle it or
Oh yeah,
go completely crazy if you set a banger. It really is. We all live and die together. We all celebrate and jeer at each other, and that's why I like racing with all these people so much. It's a great community, and anybody is able to do anything on any day.
yeah, I could really. It's awesome. I used to race karts, like not professionally, but used to race a MSA karting, and I'd much prefer to sit on a league race and have some fun with my mates because the competition's there, the racecraft,
Andy
the
Vincent.
racing's there, the banter's there. So
Yeah.
it really is a community more than just a flat out deathmatch like it is on normal online lobbies.
We'll see if Andy goes in here. He's starting back up again.
Oh, he's going round again, so
Yep.
I don't know, is he not in a party or is he...
I'm not sure. We'll have to speak with him after the race and just let him know what the deal is. I don't actually think that we have a penalty created for staying out too long on practice laps. We'll have to figure out what we're gonna do about it. Yeah, because he's not hardly going at all anymore. He's just coasting.
Yeah.
So
It was a time saving situation.
Yeah.
So it's the first race out. I mean, we sort of wanted everyone to read the rules, but as expected, it's not everyone has.
And-
but I'm sure not too harsh a penalty would be, as long as there's a
yeah.
message.
yeah, and we wanted to give the availability of practice. We didn't want to just completely take it away because I mean, like we said earlier, I mean we know how important practice is and everything, but this is the exact situation that we didn't want, where everybody has retired and we're just waiting for one person.
Who's
So-
getting a lot more track time than everyone else, and
Yeah, exactly.
you may
It's
think, well,
not
if they're
only
fast, they're
unfair,
fast, if they're
but
slow,
everyone
they're slow,
else
but it's
followed
gonna
the
help.
rules, so
Exactly. Yeah.
that's my only thing.
Seth's on an outlap again.
Yeah, so we're going to the end. I would imagine
Yeah,
it'll be about 6 more minutes now.
I think.
I'll be right back. My
Yeah,
boss is calling me.
So 4 minutes left of the session. Obviously, you have the 2 minutes after, if everyone doesn't retire, to so we should be on for a good Q2. I'm excited.
Right, sorry
Sam
about
is, so try and
I am excited. What
push
am I
on to
excited
the
about?
end of the session. Now, yeah, so they're not really doing much on track. Andy's in pits now. Seth
Yeah, and
is
Seth isn't really.
moving about, not really doing much. So a little bit frustrating.
Is this
But
is this the big? I guess he's just starting the flyer now, so he might have just been heating
yeah,
his
he's
tires.
on outlap, so he's working his tires.
Yeah. I hate that the outlap sign next to their name goes away when they're in the third sector of the outlap. Like it should change when they cross the line.
Yeah, it
To
is.
start
It
the
can
lap.
confuse.
It's
quite
very confusing sometimes, especially with 20 people on track.
Yeah, when you're trying to create content and follow the right people, it's
Right.
He's following Seth as he gets a few flies. He's looking a little bit more confident actually now, but as expected after a bit of practice, he looks a lot more smooth and confident.
So, early guesses at pole. Do you have any sort of guess?
That's
Or
not
do
very
you
nice
not know
of you.
enough
I
like me?
genuinely, I don't know enough of the drivers in this series. I haven't watched enough
Yeah.
of them or raced with them enough to actually really comment. So all I can go by is what I see in Q2 and 1.
Yeah.
I can't really comment it. What about you?
Yeah, I know maybe 60 or 70% of the people. I it's gonna be difficult though. Druid isn't in qualifying right now, but I think Druid has. Oh, there goes.
Almost
Yeah.
wing gone. So
I think Druid has a good shout at quality / a good race result. Andy obviously looks good. Jugstar looks good, and then we'll have to see where everybody else's pace is. Mo has pace. I would expect Mo to be up there. Kimmy has pace. Cardinal has pace. So it's gonna be a fight for sure.
yeah,
I'm excited to see Kakashi most of all. He really improved a lot through all of last season, and he has really good racecraft. So whether he's with people his same pace or slower than the people around him, he's very rarely involved in incidents. He's a really good defensive driver, and he's really good. And he's gone back out, and he's he's just a really smart driver. So I think Kakashi could realistically be my dark horse.
sounds like the full package.
Yeah, he's a good driver. He's a good guy.
Well, it's great to know that we have people with such talent. It's often you see in
Yeah.
a lot
And
of
intelligence.
and into some sort of intelligent life form is out there on track.
Yeah.
It's so often that you see in some leagues. So occasionally you see it in this league. You get the odd race, but in a lot of time in other leagues, it just seems like the racecraft is. And yeah, no, that's
Oh.
Andy Caps has
Andy's
decided to win it. So it's just Seth left out.
People are
Just
saying
gone
make sure you
wide.
put telemetry and lap data up. Lucky. No big. It isn't really crucial in practice, obviously, but. So this will be it. Seth went in.
So hopefully that'll be onwards and upwards
Yeah.
from there. Be nice to see, and you do see often
So-
in other leagues, you just don't get the racecraft. So it's great to know that it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of cheesy to say half the field has a chance at being on the podium, but realistically that's how it is. And that's only because that's the people that I know. I don't really know Jugster, I don't know Seth, I don't know Bob the Flop, I don't really know Lonely Plains. I don't really know Andy Caps, but he seems like he has pace. I don't really know Samurai.
I've raced a
So
couple times.
those are all
Lonely
complete
Plains. He
surprises.
Seems competent. So
And Andy Caps is left. See if I can get him back in.
So that after qualifying 1, just a little practice session basically, but there's the standings for you. So we move on to Q2, which is where the fun actually begins. Everyone will be out there trying to put their fastest laps in and get that pole position for Q2 and move into the top 10 for Q3. So it's gonna be exciting.
This is where we'll be able to see our first kind of hint at what the weather's going to be, depending on tire strategies. If everybody goes out on ultras, we'll know it's going to be a wet race. Whoa, we lost a ton of people. What happened?
So we're down to 8 people.
Oh, people crashed out. That's right.
Oh, so then, yeah, well, there you go. So they're not.
Yeah, I was about to freak out, like, whoa, where did everyone go?
So is it the same rule apply now that they just do 2 flying laps and go through, or?
Well, no, now it should just be normal Q2, yeah. Because, even though, well, I don't know, because 9 and 10 will technically get through to Q3. I don't really know how to do this. This is pretty weird. I guess I wasn't really expecting 4 people to crash out in Q1 practice.
No.
So I'm a little off kilter right now.
I'm a little bit shocked. I don't know. I would say that they just do the same, do two laps, retire, come in, and move on to Q3.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be too hard to communicate to them all while they're going out. I think Steph might have just gotten a warning for crossing white line because he just went directly left out of the pit lane, like he didn't go straight at all. So Steph might already be on 1 warning for the race. It's Goomba and then Steph out, and then Neglect, then Jugstar.
There you go. So we're sitting on board with Seth, where he's had a lot of screen time at the moment today.
Yeah.
That Q1. So maybe we'll move on to Neglect.
Yeah, a lot of super softs, by the way. It's looking like it's at least going to start as a dry race.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting though. It's about half and half tire choice. Kakashi has retired though, so he's resigned to start in P8. He should have set a time. If he had set any time, he would have gone through to Q3.
Which is interesting, but
I guess he wants free tires.
Yeah, no, of course it is a big factor, especially in a track with such I find it's got quite high track some tyre wear, so
Tire temps and tire wear, yeah.
Yeah, it might help him. It is quite abrasive surface, so
I think
it is always
Australia
interesting
one
to
of my
see
worst
what
tracks.
people do with the tyres in Australia, because it's probably, yeah, like you say, one of the worst. Tyre wear. Neglect's all over the place, almost winning it several times. So look at Jugstar.
Goomba looks pretty good so far. Goomba's been doing a lot of practice with his brother Dark Mark, who is an admin and is in, I think it's the GP2 with Kyle and Jezza and Carlos and all them. Yeah. And he's really, accelerated his improvement by a lot. Just doing some practice with his brother, he's really by leaps and bounds, coming up.
Oh yeah, well it's awesome to hear stuff like that. Often you see people that start off the season quite timid and at the back of the grid, and when they start getting really enthusiastic, put those time of practice in, their friends on a lobby or whatever, the improvement really does come quite dramatically. You can definitely see it from race to race. Jugstar about to cross the line for his first fine lap of the session. Fairly quick, 22.9.
22.9, not bad. We had a 22.8. Oh yeah, so we had a 22.8 on ultras in Q1. So we're right up there already. Goomba coming around.
About to come down a little bit off pace. We'll see what he puts in. So 26.3.
26.3. He's gonna need to improve on that probably.
On the super softs.
I guess technically he won't, since there's only 8 in Q2, but handicap's having a hard time staying in the lobby. Hopefully that's not an issue in the race. 25.5 for Seth.
Oh, we're about to cross the line.
Better than that, I bet.
Don't know if he's on the. I think he's just that old thing with the outlap. So we'll look at Kimi Raikkonen as he decides how fast he wants to
Yeah, I
go.
think it's Kimmy, then Neglect. Pretty smooth through there for Kimmy.
Final corner here.
Samurai, the only one that hasn't left the pit yet. Kimmy, 123. Up 24. 25, wow.
25.
That
Let's
start finish line just kept getting further and further
4-8,
away.
So
So that lap by Jugstar is looking
two
better and
downwards.
better and better, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is looking a very fast time, and that's on ultra softs as well from Neglect. So that's looking
Yeah.
very fast.
Mo coming through on ultras. Let's see what he's got. He does have traffic in front of him.
Yeah, very crucial, and it's
Seth, get out of
slowing
the
down
way.
at the wrong
Yeah,
point.
good job.
That was all right. That was fine.
That was, yeah, about as good as it could have been.
Just about, yeah. As we watch Mo coming
Ooh,
around
bit deep
last
there.
corner, a little bit, yeah.
Boomer
Very
retires.
crucial,
I
that
hope he
last
didn't retire on
complex.
track.
It really does make a difference to your overall lap time. It's really hard to get that power down on the last corner, keep it smooth and consistent.
Mo 124.4 on ultras. Samurai out.
And straight away goes deep into the first corner, showing how much he's pushing.
Neglect is pushing again, but he's gonna run out battery. Kimmy is pushing as well. So it'll be Neglect and Kimmy across.
Cheers. Neglect going into the penultimate corner. Very tentative. Now he's pitting now.
Neglect pits. Kimmy's still storming through.
He's slow though, so he's coming into the pits most likely.
Yep.
Goes. Samurai is on an
No,
lap.
it is on 0. Yeah, I think it's only Samurai running right now.
Looks like he's out. Almost talent there, but he's decided to give that lap up. So we'll just watch the Samurai as he comes down the last corner to start his first flying lap. And we'll sit on board into the first corner, see what he holds. Nice and solid turn in there. He's a little bit sloppy with his gear changes. It's going to cost him a little bit of time, but it's looking very solid, very
Yeah,
quick,
just a
very
little.
smooth.
The chicane that Samurai is coming up to now, this fast left-right, is the worst part of the track for me. I don't know why, but I just can't. I can't get the braking and
Samurai.
whoa, little squirrely for Samurai. I just can't. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the balance or my throttle and braking or what, but it's, other than Japan's S's, it's probably my worst turn in Formula One.
It's funny how you say that, because I was gonna say coming up to my favourite part of the track, and it's weird.
Oh, really?
Japan as well, because the Japan S is like, Japan's my favourite track purely because of that. So it's really interesting that being probably quite an equally as fast driver, such different sort of likes and dislikes to the tracks. So of course it's all down to driving style. Everyone's going to have a slightly different driving style, which will make them feel more comfortable in slightly different tracks. So that was really interesting of you to say that.
Right. I feel like driving style is one of the reasons that setups aren't really as translatable as people think they are. Like, you know, people will be like, oh no, I don't have a setup for this track, will you give me yours? Like, I can give you mine, but mine is tailored to the way that I drive. You know, it's specifically balanced for how hard I accelerate and how hard I turn and, you know, how hard I brake and just all kinds of minute feeling details that you can't really get until you understand the way that you drive yourself. So it's a lot more complicated than people think, I feel like.
Yeah.
Samurai coming around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Samurai's on his final corner here. A little bit sloppy lap last time round, but he's looking quick as he crosses the line. 23.8, so
P2, 23.8.
P2 for the moment.
Jugstar, still what a lap.
Yeah, it really is looking like a demon lap from Jugster there. Especially
So
on
we're
the
gonna have a
supers.
another friend come in and join us here. Oops.
Samurai still going
Boy,
for it.
F1 Leclerc. Yeah, he has absolutely no battery though. Mo did not improve. Just starting now.
Well,
Collecting
the only two
the
drivers on
pits,
track
pit.
at the moment. And
Samurai was the 10th up. Now he's half a second slower, so he's gonna have to come in.
well, it was as soon as he got to the power section, where he lost the time.
Yeah.
No battery. Nothing to give. So it's just Mo and Samurai out at the moment. Kimi Raikkonen,
looking a bit
Goomba,
twitchy.
and Kakashi retired.
Kimi and Goomba both committing to the super softs, knowing that they don't really need a super quick time to get through. Only did one lap on them. So Mo really only needs to improve his time here. Well, if he wants to start on the super softs, he only needs to go 1/1000th faster than his previous best.
Yep, we'll watch as he comes around the final corner, see if he can do it. Power is looking
Went a
racy.
bit deep there, the last corner.
But
It's gonna be close. Got it
Close.
by a 10th.
got it. Only just, but it's all he needed, really.
Right.
So that puts him in a nice position.
Seth back out on fresh
Um,
ultras, old ultras. So Seth really gonna have a tough time at the beginning of the race with going out on these ultras again.
It's interesting though whether he's in tune with what the tyres can
Same
do
with
or
Neglect.
not.
Yeah, Neglect is on 2-lap ultras, and he went back out. So a lot of really aggressive tire strategies.
It is a big part. Oh, there's Neglect goes very sideways there.
Neglect almost lost it. Yeah,
Yeah.
bit of a tank slapper.
No, from just a spectator's point of view, if you don't know too much about racing, that tyres don't seem like a massive issue, but from practice all the way through qualifying, all the way through the race, tyres and what they're doing is such a massive part of it, and sometimes it frustrates me when you see such fast drivers out on in a league qualifying that haven't done or just don't know too much or enough about the tyres to actually work out a decent enough strategy, and sometimes it really does hinder drivers. But it is such a massive part of the racing. It's really important that people understand that, really.
Yeah, I agree. Neglect getting a bit crazy there at the end. It's gonna go quite a bit slower. Still pushing. I don't understand his thought process.
Seth is straight
Yes, I mean-
seconds up.
There he is.
There he is, risen from the dead.
So
Just
that's gonna
about
be
buddy.
Jamie. It's F1 Leclerc. He wasn't feeling very good, so I started the stream for him. But Jamie and Lucky are gonna be your two normal GP3 streamers.
Neglect looking very, well, I don't know what the word really, twitchy. There's a lot of input in his steering wheel constantly.
Yeah.
Helping him.
I would definitely put money on him being on a controller, not a wheel.
Do you think? I don't know. You know what? I think it's hard to tell. I'm, I'm not
Yeah,
entirely
all
sure.
those little, all that little like micro steering, I recognize that because that's the way that I like correct, or the way that I used to at least. I'm better about it now, but like I recognize that type of steering for sure. It looks just like me.
Yeah, it's fairly easy at
Well,
times
coming
to
across,
see
it's gonna
who's
improve here, I
using
think.
what. It's 24.8.
He didn't improve because he ran out of
Half a
PRS
hundred.
on the last corner.
He's still running those tires into the ground, man.
Really is.
I
I think he must
I
have
just-
some sort of agenda on
I
his
don't get it.
mind. I'm not sure
Steph
what
is
he's.
slow.
Yeah, they're probably-
Steph's still pushing.
I guess if they've got the
So
tyres to
Jugstar.
Q3, then they must.
Yeah.
They're all right. But what their tyre strategy is, I couldn't tell you from what
I
they're
was gonna
doing.
say, starting the race on those tires is gonna be rough. I mean, one out lap, one flyer, one in lap, and then 2 more flyers. That's wild to start on ultras at Australia.
So that's Seth into
That's
the
gonna-
pits, leaving just Neglect out on track. He's really pushing those tyres for us. He wants that screen time,
I was
obviously
gonna say
looking for some
he's
sponsors.
going all out. He's really not holding back at all. I hope he doesn't think that this is Q3.
That would be, although I don't
That'd
think
be
he'd
a
do
bummer.
3 laps in Q3.
Yeah.
I would definitely try not to do.
I would have come in and switched out if I was gonna do more than 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Decent final turn. And he improved half a second.
That's alright.
But it's going to affect his
Q2 for you.
pit strategy, I think. All that old slots
Yeah.
in Q2.
So moving
So
on to
Jugstar,
Q3, it'll be
the-
interesting to see
the big
who
lap.
actually turns up in Q3 because we're slightly
Yeah,
unexpected.
I think Jugstar's gonna have to be the front runner for pole after putting that super soft lap down.
It is looking likely. So after qualifying 2, as we're saying, Jugstar on pole with a phenomenal lap, or what looks like a phenomenal lap for the moment. Samurai kicking up in second, almost a second off pace, really. Obviously he's on the ultra soft, so it could have gone faster, but it does show really the difference between them. And Mo coming up in third for the moment, so it is looking interesting. Very close from second and third downwards. So I think we're gonna have some good racing today.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Still all the way clear.
So, looks like everyone went through.
Yeah, everyone went through. Rather than a top 10 shooter, it's a top 8.
I was expecting like
We'll
a
just
top
run with it.
6.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure if Kakashi would go through because he just retired. Yeah,
And he's done
was
his-
just gonna say I figure he'll retire again. So I'm just looking at the
Seth
table
straight
right now.
out.
We do have
and
Seth straight out.
followed by
There's a McLaren in front of him. I think Jugstar first
Yes,
out. Yeah,
Jugstar,
Jugstar,
yeah.
then Seth.
Mo's out now.
So we
Goomba's
have-
out. Everyone flooding out.
We have Druid, Andy Caps, Lonely Plains, and SF1 Cardinal are all still in the lobby. They just crashed out in Q1. So it's going to be a 12 car race, but only an 8 car Q3. So just so people don't forget, because they aren't listed. I wasn't expecting that many crashes though.
No, neither was I.
It's like we think of Australia as such an easy track, but it can come back to bite you.
I think everyone feels it's the easiest track purely because it's the first track, normally the first track you ever do on the game, and whether you like it or not, you normally do far more racing on Australia just because of that. So I think everyone thinks it's easy because they're so used to loading up their new F1 game and going around Australia for the first race and getting bored because it's not the best track in the world. But yeah, It is easy, but it's also very tricky to really get those power laps down.
Yeah, especially that chicane. That can really be difficult.
Yeah, it's a make it or break it corner, or 2 corners, really, isn't it? Seth really
Goomba's
backing
right on the
up
back of Seth.
Goomba, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what those two do.
I was to say there, and who's that right behind them? Mo?
I think
No, it's
that's,
Neglect right behind them. And they're all on hot laps, so we can't really, stop them.
Well,
they just have to sort of figure it out themselves.
yeah, that's very interesting. But
Unfortunately,
I don't know what they're going to do. If I was those two, unfortunately,
Neglect is definitely going to come off worst. Yeah, he should slow back.
Goomba's gone wide, so they're
Goomba pulls off.
probably just letting him pass. Doesn't want to be involved in that. I'd say very wise.
Neglect is still on the back of Seth, though.
Yeah, Seth. None the wiser to anything that's going on behind him by the looks of it, but
Or
well
just
within
doesn't
his
care.
rights to just go for it.
Oh,
Right.
Just had a big off.
Oh yeah, completely sideways.
Oh yeah.
Looks like he's missing his whole front
Yeah, that's
front wing.
he's just.
Seth's still holding Neglect back. Neglect
Side
trying
by
to go up the
side
inside.
during
Oh, that's so
qualifying.
dangerous. Oh
That
my
is just
goodness.
ridiculous, really.
That was
There wasn't any need
ridiculous.
for that.
No.
Should really have just pulled out of his lap. Seth didn't really have any obligation to move or to do anything for him. So.
I was gonna say he was leading the pack.
Yeah, he was on his out lap.
No reason to pull out. So
It's all about
goes
it's the track
125, but
management.
it's
You've got to make
invalidated.
sure that you've got the space. It's just as important as making sure
Seth
that you're quick.
goes 133, but it's invalidated. 123 for Mo.
The only real lap is the 123 from Mo on the
Mo got
ultras.
his lap in just before he caught traffic, so it was a good lap for Mo. Neglect on low ERS. We'll see if he can manage it. Samurai coming through. Samurai goes pole. Wow, 22.9. Kimmy's still in the pit.
Well, we know that. Oh god. Oh, that crept up on me.
I think Lucky might have died.
The thing I did come in.
I think it's gonna be Neglect coming across. First new time. Then Seth, then Goomba.
Not much ERS left from Neglect. Under 10%.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Neglect
What's my voice?
got invalidated, I think, when he went up the inside of Seth. So Neglect does a 123.7 E3. Seth coming across.
He's a
Only a 25.6 for Seth.
bit off.
Goomba does a 25.3. Goomba and Seth were still right together on that lap, so I think that they could both still improve.
They just need to find that space.
Jugstar
really.
in an out lap. Yeah. Samurai improves.
Looks like he's going for it
Jugstar.
again as well.
Watch. The driver's watch is definitely Jugster, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I want to see what
Yeah,
Kimmy
we'll
can do as
Definitely
well.
jump onto Jugster when he reaches the end of his out lap. Kimi Raikkonen.
But yeah, he's still on the out lap.
Leave the pits. Seth's on a slow lap there. Goomba almost spinning it in a slow chicane.
So, just before we get there, for any drivers that are in the chat or listening to the stream, SF1 Goomba is going to be the first driver to ready up after the 5-minute break. So please do not ready up until SF1 Goomba readies up. Okay, thank you. I just saw Cardo in the chat, so I figured I would say it rather than type it.
Yeah,
Jugster
definitely.
begins his flying lap.
So let's watch, see what he can do. Very fast driver. interesting to see what he puts in. Already looking very fast and very, very controlled.
Yeah,
Back on
everybody's
the DRS button.
the provisional pole lap is slower than Jugstar did on Super Softs, so this should be quite a bit faster than the rest of the people, I think. Maybe a full second or more.
Yeah, I imagine
G3, you
it's
just
gonna
take the
be
fuel
quite
out of the car and go for it.
Right.
very difficult corner to get right here, but again, he just looks very smooth. Maybe a little bit tentative there, but very smooth. Very controlled.
Definitely a lot less jerky on the straights than everybody else. He's a lot more controlled coming out of the exits.
Would it be Will?
I was gonna say I think
Yeah, it
he's a
does
wheel driver,
look very
just
likely
based
he's a
on what
wheel
it looks
driver.
like. Super smooth on the throttle as well. That looks like a foot. I can't do that with my finger, personally.
No, it's really difficult.
Bang on the DRS
to
again.
get it right. Cross the
22,
line.
22.
22. Not quite as fast as we were expecting, maybe, but I'm sure there's more to give
Yeah.
if he needs to. Obviously, he's going to want to try and keep his tyres in optimum condition for the start of the race as well. It's not just qualifying he's got to
And
think about.
realistically, it might just be that the track is better suited for super softs than ultra softs right now. You know, maybe ultra softs just aren't optimal currently. Kimmy out.
Yeah, Kimmy's on his lap now.
Go after tires from the pit. I think he was in the pit.
I hope he was.
So do I.
I'm just watching Kimi
There've been a
Räikkönen
couple
now.
already that retired on track.
It looks like another wheel user, maybe.
I'm not sure if Kimmy uses wheel or controller. I
No,
don't
it doesn't.
remember.
He uses a controller. I just seen the return on the steering wheel's far too quick for a steering wheel.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a controller, but he's very smooth. As I
Yeah.
say that, he
Oh, he's
touches
gone
the
wide.
grass and
Missed
goes
it a bit
wide.
there, though. Yeah, touched the grass.
So it's gonna have to recoup.
Back steady, or it's right down. He
Start a new
honestly
lap.
could come. No, he couldn't really come in and go back out. He doesn't really have time, so he just has to go slow and then hit another fast one.
So Gumbas
He has plenty of battery,
started a lap. Mo is on a lap, midway round, coming out of that really slow chicane.
That was great by Mel.
Yeah, really nice.
Goomba's coming up right behind Mel. Not right behind, but behind. Very deep by
A
Mel.
little bit deep.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
coming into the
and
pits
he's-
now. It
Pulls
He's
out
avoided
there.
the lap.
quite happened for him.
Oh, that was very close to the wall.
Goomba through the chicane onto the back straight.
Yeah, that was looking very, very powerful as well from Goomba. This comes into the last few corners now.
Goomba will... no, he won't not. This is Goomba's final lap.
Very low on the RS deployment for this final corner. A bit too tentative, going to have lost himself a lot of time there. Very tight line.
Out of VRS.
How does
It's
it
gonna be
look?
close.
It's
Good
Doesn't
improvement.
improved
Wow,
pretty-
over a second.
Quite get there. 24-1.
Still P5. Seth
25.
improves by 7 seconds. So Seth is going again.
Jugster's on an outlap now, so he's going to try and... Is he going to make it all the way around? I think he'll be alright.
I don't think
don't-
Jugster's gonna make it.
Sure. That'll
I
be
think
interesting to
Jugster
see
missed.
if he'll
I-
make it through. Kimi Räikkönen
Yeah,
puts in a
I think he might have waited
24-5,
just a
stick
bit too
himself
long.
in 6th.
Kimmy can go again if he has. He might not have enough ERS to go. Goomba's
Seth
still
has just
pushing.
improved
Seth is
by
still
7
pushing.
tenths in the first sector.
That'll put him. Not even P6 yet.
Mm. Coming up to the
Jugster's
intersect-
pretty safe,
yeah.
I would imagine. fight for P2,
So
P3.
17. The yellow in sector 3.
Goomba's turned his ERS down. He's given up. So Seth
Jugster's
is really
not
the only
made
pusher.
it.
I hope Goomba gets out of Seth's way. Okay, Goomba pits.
Seth rounds the last corner.
That should
be the
Alright,
final
what can he
one.
do?
Oh no, Kimmy's still one.
Does it improve?
24-9.
24-9,
6
that's not
tenths.
enough.
Improved, but it's not enough to move up the board. Kimi Raikkonen's going
Kimi
into
goes
the
deep.
grass
That'll be his
just as
lap.
we switch cameras.
Alright, so let's say what 31 will be the minimum start time. 9:31 I guess GMT.
Yeah, that sounds about right to
32,
me.
something like that.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna run
26,
and use the restroom.
No problem at all. So that was your qualifying. Very impressive drive from Jugster there as he pulled quite a marginal gap to anyone else. Almost a second faster. Didn't quite get to put that extra fast lap in. Didn't quite make it across the line, but it's a 1:22.2 for Jugstar in pole position. The Samurai takes up second in a 1:22.9. SF1 Mo with a 1:23.2 takes up third, and Neglects in fourth with a 1:23.7. Goomba, Kimi Raikkonen, Seth and Kakashi take up the rest of the field down to 8th for qualifying 3.
Not too sure why Kakashi hasn't done any times.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure either. I
Yeah,
think
I'll look
Sam
at it.
might know, but
He did this last season as well.
What's
yeah,
the question?
that's what Sam was saying.
Kakashi not setting any times in any of the qualifying sessions.
Oh yeah, he always retires out.
Interesting.
So, the final order of runners is going to be Jugstar and Pole, then the Samurai, SF1 Mo, Neglect, Goomba to round out the top 5, then Kimi, Seth, Kakashi were the final people that got through Q3, then Andy Caps, who crashed out in Q1, Lonely Plains, who crashed out in Q1, Bob the Flop, who crashed out in Q1, Cardinal, who crashed out in Q1, and Druid, who joined in late. And Druid is in the Mercedes for this race, but I don't believe that. I think he's actually in a Force. Oh no, he's not in a Force India, but I don't believe that he's in the Mercedes. So his
I'll have
points
a
will
look.
just
I'll have a look now.
transfer to
What
whichever
he's at.
team he's really in. But yeah, so we only had 8 final qualifiers, but we actually have 13 drivers, and only Kimi Raikkonen, Neglect, and Samurai are those are the only 3 starting on
Druid is
ultras.
actually in the Mercedes.
Oh well, good luck.
Happy coincidence.
Maybe he just left and rejoined, and Handicaps is readied up, so that'll be another penalty for him.
Okay. Well,
Hopefully, everyone can get back and someone can go slow.
looks like most people were
Looks like
still.
everybody's moving so far.
Yeah, looks like they were still on.
Who was
the
that?
line,
A Haas, maybe?
Looking, I think it's
No one's
Kakashi,
been-
Lonely Plains, and Cardinal. No, they're
Everyone's
all,
moving.
no, they're out. Everyone seems to be moving.
Everyone's keeping it pretty clean, yeah, and everyone's moving. Be careful,
Still
Lonely
not what we want to
Plains
see.
and Bob the Flop. Why are you racing people, Bob? Max, it's a formation lap.
I did say there will be reprimands for people that are overly
Make contact,
exuberant
yes.
on the
Yeah.
formation lap. There's no need for it, and it is
Oh,
an important
just like that.
stage.
Who was that? A Haas just hit a Williams.
So
Nope,
Samurai
Samurai.
and Mo, yeah.
Mo
so
ran right into the back of.
something to be looked
Samurai.
into on that. Didn't catch it on my screen, unfortunately.
I just got the very end of it. It's pretty clean though so far. I'm very pleased. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse, especially with someone rating up early.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate for that to happen.
First race
but
of the season, shaking the rust off.
hopefully, we're going to have a nice, clean, and exciting race. Definitely got enough talent. Definitely got enough drivers. So just have to wait.
Seth going a bit wide again. I think we're gonna be pretty good here through the end. If you want to start on Duckster and just kind of scroll down, I'll start on Steph and scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then Jamie, just sort of do whatever you want.
So we're lining up now for GP3 season opener. We're in Australia. We're hot under the colour and we're ready to go racing. Jugster on pole, followed by Samurai.
SF1 Mo is going to be starting on cold super softs, so he's going to have quite a bit of defending to do, I think, here at the start. Samurai is on old ultras. Neglect is on very old ultras, so track position is going to be
Here
key.
we go. 5 red lights, and we're off.
Maybe.
We're off.
There they go. Whoa,
Look, there's a bit of contact at the back there.
And
Jug
it
Star
looked like
Cardinal.
makes
it
it
looked
through
like
the first
handicaps
corner.
just held the throttle and went completely sideways.
Bit wide
Williams
for
getting a bit shaky.
Mo there. Samurai takes that space up. Jugstar getting a very clean start, followed by Neglects.
Whoa!
Very nice and clean. Bob the
Bob
Flop's
the Flop
out.
got annihilated. Bob the Flop was completely sideways, got put into the wall. Merc goes deep.
As we watch Druid recovering from that little scuffle there. Oh, and that's Lonely Plains hitting the
Whoa,
wall.
more contact.
Tremendous hit there.
Yeah, Lonely Plains has absolutely no wing at all.
There's nothing left of that front end.
Tough
Kakashi
day
getting
for
away with
Renault
not
so
being
far.
hit there by the Renault. A little bit of a
Lonely
sniff from
Plains wants to
Seth.
slow down before hitting the corners. He could lose a win.
Samurai is gaining on Neglect. Mo is getting gained on by Kimmy.
Oh, and there we go.
Lonely
Yeah,
Plains.
There goes the other
Goes
Renault.
Couldn't hold on to that. So Jugstar pulls a nice gap as the rest of the field follows suit. Bit hectic in the first opening lap.
I just
Samurai
thought that
has a
out of
look at
order as
Neglect.
well.
Samurai already getting very close, yes. It's a long race, guys. Can't win on the first
Be
lap.
interesting to see who all needs to go into the pit here at the end of lap 1. Jugstar fastest lap.
He's already got a 2.6 second gap.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah, he's
today.
really just away, isn't he? Cardinal,
Great start
Kakashi,
for
and
the
Seth is going to be a
team.
crazy battle. Kakashi might make a move on Seth here.
Yeah, he's having a
Doesn't
look.
really quite have the
Doesn't-
straight line speed though. Druid 5-second stock go for speeding.
I'm just gonna
So only
yeah.
2 people in the
Handicaps
pit
in the
other than
pits, Druid in the
the
pits.
2 Renos who got knocked out already.
Samurai makes his way past Neglect. Takes that second position and is already half a second ahead. Let's see if he can pull that gap.
Mo has completely cut the gap out of Neglect.
Yeah, well, it was that first going wide on the second corner there. Just having to let the 2 drivers through really hindered him on his first lap, but he's definitely still there, bringing the game back. Just
Yeah.
3/10 behind Neglects.
Yeah, just a quick question, Sam. Who is the GP3 steward? I have a clip to send them.
The clips get sent to SF1 Soul X, and it's 3X, not EX.
Oh, Mo
Mo
going
gets a
very wide
penalty
and
and spins
spinning
around.
on the
Oh, no.
last penultimate corner there, almost wiping out Kimi Räikkönen and Goomba. Doing a few pirouettes there, but he got a little bit wide
No
and
damage.
coming into the penultimate corner, and then again just locked up into braking, went a bit deep and couldn't keep it on the track. So that's Mo back down into 6th.
Jugstar's just off doing his own thing. 5 seconds ahead through 3 laps.
He really
Oh,
is.
he's
He's
gonna
still
do is keep
pulling
it
that
clean.
gap. Samurai's pulling that gap to Neglects. Is now up to 1.7 seconds already. They're
Cardinal's
close.
going to look at Kakashi here at some point.
The closest battle on the track at the moment.
So a bit of drama to start the day, but things settling down pretty nicely.
Seth in the pits there.
Andy Caps and Druid both went onto the softs. We'll see if Seth goes onto the softs as well. He should, realistically. Seth goes onto supers, so Seth probably is going to have to pit again.
On board with Cardinal now, as he gets very close to the back of Kakashi.
Kakashi covers.
Not an easy place to want to make a move there.
Whoa! Kakashi gets a bit of air. They're both down around 40% ERS, so no real advantage for either one.
Kakashi's on the Ultras, and the only real difference between
Kimmy will
them...
start reeling in Neglect here at some point. Fresh supers on old Ultras. Not quite yet, but at some point. There goes Cardinal. Nope.
Just letting him know he's there, I think.
Wasn't there today, but
on though doing that.
It's clear to show that he's got the pace. He's falling back, making that time up, falling back, making that time up, but he's just gotta bide his time, think of the right place to make the move, and then think of the right place to make the move at the right time, and try and
Kimmy is gaining on Neglect.
Yeah, he's taking 2 tenths out already. 3 tenths.
Make that 4. Oh no, it's just going back to 3. Cardinal,
I like Grace's
brilliant run there onto the back of Kakashi.
Spurts of action and then things chill out, and spurts of action and chill.
It's not where you don't want to have a compromised entry to the fast chicane. He does keep trying it there. Cardinal's got the run out of the slow chicane and round the straight. As Neglect gets a 5-second
big
stop
5-second stop go penalty for Neglect.
Lane.
So that's just a normal pit stop for Neglect. That's not for damage.
Yeah, he's in the pit
so
for
his
super
tires
softs.
are already starting to go. I'm interested to see what happened at the start.
Yeah, Kakashi has a 5-second stop though, but I think that should be taken away from him. Because I saw what happened and he got absolutely smashed into the back by Lonely Plains. That's how Lonely Plains DNF'd.
Alright. Interesting. Let's see what the steward says about that. There's been a few surprises, but all in all, a relatively clean start to the race. We're 5 laps in now, and we've still got 11 of the 13 drivers, so it's been good.
Yeah, I want to see what happened at the beginning between Andy Caps and Druid, because it looked like Andy Caps just hammered the throttle at the start and just completely lost it and went sideways. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I was on board with it, and it's just obviously you got to try and reach your optimal revs for the start, don't you? And he's just going floored it from the beginning.
Just full bore, yeah.
And if you're not on full traction, you can't do that. And Seth hits the wall, loses part of his front wing.
Yeah, right side front wing.
I think it's going to be long now before Samurai
Kakashi pits, so Cardinal finally gets released. Kakashi pit on his 4-lap old Ultra, so look for Samurai to come in here pretty soon. Kakashi gets a 5-second speeding penalty. That one wasn't Lonely Plains' fault. It was Erickson.
This really is easy to pick up a stop-go penalty there, especially if you've got ABS off. You get into that sort of anguish to get into the pits, and you just sort of lock up a little bit too much. Before you know it, you pass the line at 60 or 70 or whatever, and you got a penalty. So
Mo's gonna have a look at Gooba here.
Yeah, it's got that gap down to 8 tenths now.
It's even more difficult to stop the car in this pit entry because it's 37 miles an
Great
hour.
exit by Mo. Wow.
Wow, look at that.
He
Just
should get this
flies
done,
past.
yeah,
Nice.
with ease.
Oh, and
very
it
deep,
drives
though. Gooba gets a much
straight
better run there. Oh, stay out of the wall. Saved
No.
it. That's about the best result you can hope for going that deep.
Yeah, it's clear that Mo's got the speed, but it just seems that when he comes to having to make the move or having to defend or anything, he just seems to flap a little bit under pressure. There's still a long race to go.
First race of the season. I'm gonna say
Everyone's a little
that's
bit
gonna be my
rusty.
reasoning for all of the anything that happens really. Oh, first race of the season.
Anything.
I'm just going to
First race of the
apologise
season.
to every GP2 driver tomorrow in advance because I don't feel that great.
Oh, Seth comes out right in front of Cardinal.
Yeah,
Well, not massively.
I'm
but
gonna be covering GP2.
Oh dear.
I'm really excited to commentate for you guys.
No. Just don't look at me.
It's gonna be crazy.
So Neglect's got that gap down
there's
to
gonna
just
be
9/10
So
behind
much going
Cardinal
on, I bet.
on 2-lap old supers. Definitely going to want to make his way past Cardinal. Or hopefully... Oh no, he's going to have to want to get past him as fast as possible really, because Cardinal's on 6-lap old supers and he's on 2-lap old, so there's going to be a difference, there's going to be a deficit. And he will get held up.
Yeah. Kimi is starting to chip away at Samurai, so Samurai really needs to come in off those ultras. I think he's trying to go ultras to softs, but man, he's really stretching them.
Oh.
Yeah, he's lost like half a second this lap to Kimi though. It's getting to be that time.
Neglect's really getting held up by Cardinal now as he's not quite close enough on the straight by the looks of it, so he's going to have to wait another lap, or at least half a lap. Gap down to 4/10 now. Sitting under half a second.
The problem Neglect has is, look at that ERS. He's on overtake mode with 11% remaining.
Yeah, and Cardinal has 55%.
It's
on
very easy
medium.
to drain the life of your car when attacking, and not realising suddenly you've got to turn everything down and you can't even stay with them, so really got to keep your eye on your battery management, your fuel management.
Samurai's on hot lap right now. I wonder if he's pushing on an in lap. See if he'll come in here at the end. And he does.
That's fine.
So watch him and see what he decides to stick on.
So it'll be him coming out in front of Cardinal, I think.
Very cautious into the pits there. Don't want to risk that penalty at all.
Kimi up into P2.
Onto stop.
Good showing from my teammate from last season. Goomba P3, another good showing.
Okay, that was very strange because it says that he's on super softs on my screen.
Cardinal gets Samurai. Wow, Cardinal and
Samurai
Neglects
is-
both get Samurai.
Samurai
I thought he would get up
is
quicker.
on softs, but is showing as super softs on the screen, so please don't get confused. He is on softs, not super
He
softs.
is on softs.
So that red ring is
And that's-
fake. Don't believe it.
That's Seth right behind Samurai, so Seth can technically try to unlap himself from Samurai, but needs to be really cautious about it.
Don't do a knock.
Because,
Lane
yeah,
of
Seth is
Verstappen.
on brand new Ultras. Well, Seth will be
Ocon's the
Ocon in
one
this
that
case.
hit Verstappen.
Yeah.
Verstappen's the one that drove into Ocon. But okay, moving on to the race at hand.
I'm not gonna fall out with you for that.
Cough, cough. Mercedes
Trying to create
tinfoil hat.
controversy.
Let us know in the chat. It was definitely Ocon's fault in my eyes.
Ooh, Mo retires.
Yeah, Mo's just
What happened?
he's
just lost it coming out
touched
of
the
the fast
grass
chicane.
and lost it. Yep.
Yep.
So easily done.
Super unfortunate. He was having a great showing. But his first race back
Heartbreaking.
I think a season. He used to be in SF1 and didn't race with us last season. Glad to have him back.
Heartbreaking for
Unlucky.
the Haas driver.
Just like real life Australia. Heartbreaking Haas.
Hopefully Neglect doesn't crash out.
If anything like the first race,
there.
we should see Neglect
The
drop
West
off in a
needs to be
couple
careful
laps
coming
then.
out of the pit. Make sure all of his wheels are bolted on.
I suppose
But
that was
is
Ericsson's fault
pulling
as well. He's
the,
just undone the bolt.
Yeah. Imagine if Ericsson was one of the pit crew for Haas. Just pulls up his helmet and... Sup, guys?
Hashtag lols.
Just gonna keep a hand.
Neglect is starting to really, really pull up on Cardinal. Maybe in
Yeah,
a
we're just
lap or
sitting
two
here
he'll
watching
be
him
within
now.
DRS.
He's pulling that gap so slowly. Well, no, not too slowly at all. Corner by
So
corner,
all
he's
Umber
finishers
is closing
will
the
score
gap to
points.
Raikkonen as well.
By the way. As long as Seth doesn't crash before passing Mo, all finishers will get points.
So we're running you down the order. Jugstar's sitting there in first with an interval of 23 seconds. A massively quick drive from the young man at the moment. Or woman, actually,
Free
I'm
pit
not
stop.
sure. They or them.
Yeah,
Very
you can't
fast
say
today.
anything these days without
Kimi
opinion, can you?
Raikkonen coming up in second. He is 23 seconds down, but best of the rest at the moment. Nice drive from him. Gumba's in third, taking up the last spot, the podium for the moment, followed by Cardinal, who's just 6 seconds down the road. So
I sound a bit
Yeah.
biased here, but this is a great showing from the
Fourth.
Force India team. Come on, lads, come on!
4, 5, 6 is really going to be the battle to watch for the rest of the race, I think.
Yeah, there's not much.
definitely, they're all coming
time
together,
between them
really.
at all.
Yeah. These pit stops
Interesting.
coming in here pretty soon will help, but as of right now, those are the 3 to watch.
Well, yeah, we want to watch out for Samurai as well. He's on the soft tyre.
Yep.
Cardinals on 10-lap-old supers, neglecting 6-lap-old supers, and I will be back in a second.
So
No, you're
the
not
top-
allowed to leave.
Top 4 yet to pit.
My nose is bleeding.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Stop moving stuff with your mind then.
I had
That
a
was
green
such a
controller,
nerdy
it's
joke.
now red.
There is a race going on. So first
Are
and
the top
fourth
4
yet
the,
to
the
pit.
only ones not to pit? Yeah.
As we say that, Kimi Raikkonen heads straight into
And
the
Kimi
pits.
gets in.
Let's see what he sticks on.
Goomba
Some
stays
rubber.
out.
Looks like softs to me.
Cardinal stays out. Yeah, softs for Kimi.
It's softs on my screen and it's softs on the little thing, so that's great.
Ooh, Kimi and Andy is going to be pretty close.
It is. I was
Andy's
just
going to be a
about
bit behind him, but it's
say-
going to be tight. Oh wow, Andy gets him.
right
wow.
next. Yeah, he's just in front there. So actually, that's a considerable
I'll
margin
tell
in
you what,
front.
that pit lane is longer than I think it is.
It is quite
So
a
4, 5,
restricted one,
6,
to be
4,
fair.
5, and 6, 7 are 2 good battles now.
Yep, that gap between
Cardinal's
Neglect and
starting to
Cardinal
gain a bit
down
on
to
Goomba as well.
1.4. And as you said, yep, Cardinal gaining on Goomba. Yet to stop though.
Cardinal is my my early shout for driver of the day. Crashed out in Q1, up 9 positions, having a really, really solid race.
Certainly is. Neglect's looking very promising as well though. He's already taken his stop. He's only just under 2 seconds behind
There
Cardinal.
goes Samurai! Samurai and Neglect make contact. Samurai's definitely gonna get through here though. Jugstar pits and comes out ahead of Goomba pretty easily. Goomba pits. So that'll promote Cardinal, unless he follows. Nope, Cardinal stays out. So Samurai, Neglect, and Cardinal is a... Oh, Cardinal pitted. Samurai, Neglect is going to be the next overtake.
Yeah, well,
And
Cardinal,
Neglect
Neglect, and
right on the
Samurai
back of
very close
Cardinal.
together.
Cardinal,
Side by
terrible
side.
run. Goes very defensive. Cardinal lets Neglect go. Ooh, Samurai tried to go around the outside.
Interesting driving now. So Cardinal trying to get round as fast as
Cardinal
possible.
really
Once
starting
again
to
in the
struggle, I
pits.
think.
Yeah, I think he's going to be trying to pit this lap.
Yeah, this one you're next for
Just
sure.
wants to try and get round without losing too much time with the pressure from behind. Just wants to try and stay as smooth, consistent as possible in comparison to his race times. It's very easy to lose half a second or 3/10, 4/10 just from having someone behind you.
Wow,
having
what a
look or
run by
whatever.
Samurai.
Incredible speed difference there.
He almost caught neglect. That was crazy. I was just gonna say that Samurai doesn't really look anxious to have to be fighting through traffic to get back to P2. He really seems composed and is driving really well. Kimi overtakes Goomba.
Kimi gets a 3-second
3-second
time
time penalty,
penalty.
Ooh, Goomba and Kimi are fighting really well. Bit of contact maybe. Good
Let's
battle
bring,
though. Druid coming up behind him.
yeah, let's bring Druid into the game.
Oh, Cardinal
Position
pits.
changes.
Yeah, it's all kicking off.
Where's
And
he
then
going
it'll
to
set
come
him
out?
back down.
Gumba's past him. Cardinal's all the way
Here
back
it
down
comes.
in 8th.
Yep.
Right
Wow.
behind that fight. So he's really lost out there. He didn't have track position before the pits, so he had to suck it really. The Samurai's retired.
Oh no! I'm on
The
SRL
Samurai's retired.
caps trying to see. I don't know what happened.
So I was so
maybe
caught up
he,
in the Druid and Cardinal situation. The
it
Cardinal
looks
Gumba
like maybe
situation.
he went off one of the walls going onto the back straight.
I
Maybe? I'm
literally
not
just
sure.
read that. And-
Goomba, Kimi, and Druid is crazy. 4 seconds separating, 4/10 separating 3 drivers. Kimi all over Goomba. This is going to be for a provisional P2, 3, 4, I think. Neglect is going to
I
have
will
to
get-
hit again. Andy might have
I
to
will
hit
get-
again.
Ooh, touch of the grass there from Druid.
Yeah, shocking run from Kimi.
Gumba has a lot more ERS than Kimi. Kimi's in hot lap mode.
Druid as well. Kakashi 3-second time penalty.
This is very
Druid
close.
is in the same boat as Kimi with ERS. So Goomba's in the best shape for sure.
If I was Gumba here, I'd whack it into overtake mode just for this.
Kimi's
Yeah.
got it
first
turned
demonstration.
up.
Pull away a little. Let them battle. Kimi and Druid both have DRS.
Druid on the DRS.
Look at him gain! Wow!
In a way, though, this is good for Gumba. If Kimi and Druid are battling like this,
Battling, yeah. Yeah, Goomba's hardly using any ERS at all.
Yeah, he's sitting there. in
I think
two,
Goomba's
so-
gonna get a P2 here if he holds it together.
can you stop jinxing drivers, please?
So, Gumba looking very in control. Whilst Kimi, Raikkonen and Druid fight it out for P5 currently.
Let me just say quickly, the longer these guys keep battling it out, look at the other Force India of Cardinal gaining.
He's only 3 seconds behind. Only takes a little battle for that to become 1 second, and then he's there to bite you. So
And then you're there.
yeah, they've got to be careful.
Oh, Druid a little bit sideways. Oh, and
Kakashi
Kakashi
retires.
Yeah, Kakashi's out there.
There's a
coming
fast
out of the
chicane.
chicane. Be
Kimi
careful,
taking a
sir,
bit too
be
much
careful.
grass there.
Exact. Kakashi went out the exact same place as Mo.
Well, on fast chicane.
I can't believe how close Kimi and Druid and Goomba all are still.
It really is.
Shows how difficult overtaking is here. They're doing a great job of keeping it clean though.
Yeah, they're
My
really
game's
doing very
glitching
good.
out.
Raikkonen
It's showing
3
their
seconds
Kimi
time
another
penalty.
3-second time
penalty.
penalty.
Oh,
But
I
they're
think that's
actually
his
all
second
corner
soft
cut
cars.
there. But see, although and again he flies
Another
across
one, yeah.
that corner. Yeah, that's maybe looking a little bit frustrated. But as I was saying, Goomba just seems so in control. He's not pushing too hard at all. He's and
I agree.
he's sitting there in front. Any little sniff from Kimmy or Druid fighting behind, it doesn't seem to phase him at all. Really solid drive at the moment from Goomba.
And because he's been doing such a good job of conserving, I would imagine that he's doing a really good job of conserving fuel as well. I mean, I'd like to see Goomba's pace if he just dumps it all. See what kind of a gap he can pull.
Yeah, massively.
I mean, he could pretty easily get away from DRS range.
Druid right on the back of Kimi Raikkonen's
Easily,
gearbox
yeah.
now.
Yeah, he's gonna have a look here.
And Cardinal was coming as well.
Kimmy's. Whoa, bit of
Oh,
lag.
big lag spike there, but he pushes it down the
Yeah.
inside anyway. Bit of contact between the two. Druids comes on top for the moment. Kimmy falls behind.
P3, Druid P4. Kimi
Brings
P5.
Cardinal right into his gearbox.
Cardinal now win this battle.
And like I was saying before, all that's happened to Kimmy purely because Goomba had such control out front and forced Kimi Raikkonen into nowhere ERS to have to save everything, which in turn dropped him back and gave Druid the opportunity. Now look where he is.
And Goomba is still over a second of Druid, ahead of Druid, but Druid is pulling him in. Druid really wants that DRS.
He really does. They're both using the same ERS mode at the moment, so as far as we know, as far as battery, it's even for the moment.
Yep. So, I'll be looking for
Another 3 seconds.
Andy Caps
Another 3
and
seconds.
Druid to both pit again. But other than that, I think everybody is done with their pits. Andy Caps and Druid.
Druid getting
are the
very
only two.
close to Goomba there.
And as I say that, of course, Andy Caps does fastest lap. Wow, Druid is all over Goomba now.
There is. It's be interesting to see what it takes for Goomba to have to switch that ERS up to high. He switches it into
There we go,
overtake.
He's up in overtake now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only medium
Effective
for
line.
Druid. Druid knows he
See
doesn't
what he
have
can
it.
do to defend.
Oh,
He keeps it round the
Stitch is
outside.
losing.
Beautifully done there.
Yeah.
Holding that line round the outside like a brick wall.
Druid seemed a little indecisive, like he didn't know if he wanted to dive or not.
I think if you're gonna make a move, just
You
go
have to
and
make
it.
Yeah.
Just go and make it.
If there's
it could
any
be
doubt,
a
don't
lot
do it.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you commit
100%.
and decide to pull out, then
That's when you screw other people up because they can't predict whether they need to defend or stay online or whatever. It's all about
Exactly.
predictability. Druid got a bit sideways there, lost about 2/10.
if you no longer go for a gap,
Cardinal
you're
all
no
over
longer a
Kimmy.
racing driver.
Cardinals getting ready to take a bite. It's Kimi Raikkonen
Kimmy's
gets
having a
another
tough time.
3-second
Another
time
3-second
penalty.
penalty.
He's driving really aggressively.
He's picked up 9 seconds worth of penalties in the last 2 laps. I'll let everyone else decide what to think of
Druid's
that.
weaving about everywhere, just trying to find a way past.
I feel
Kimmy's
bad
in
for
low
not
ERS mode.
covering Jugstar and Andy Caps, but I mean, it's a 24-second and a 17-second gap, followed by 4 people who are battling, so they'll understand. They get their interviews, it'll be okay. And I really do
Exactly.
think Goomba's gonna come with the podium here. He's doing an excellent job. Goomba is my podium call.
He
And
certainly
Jugstar,
is.
obviously, if he doesn't
He's
win
doing
it.
a very, very solid.
Andy on 17 year
I think
Whoa,
Andy and
lap.
Druid both have to pit again.
Yeah, both on
Here
17
comes
lap
Druid.
olds, soft tyres.
Very, very close.
Andy and Druid, the two that got tied up when Andy Caps went sideways from the grid. Druid ran into them,
Okay,
they both
according
pitted
to
on
my
lap 1.
game, Goomba's right rear tyre has a soft tyre on and the rest are super soft.
Esports ready.
One job, coders. One job.
Druid is gonna get him here, I think. Whoa! Around the outside.
Around the outside, that's a decision.
Yeah.
Defensive line from Goomba.
And that's what happens when you
Contact.
make that decision. Not gone well.
Dangerous
He's
joint.
flown
no,
for
I
almost
almost put
taking
the
Jimmy's at
Kimi
the
Raikkonen's had
Holy
to
moly.
swerve. That was
Wow. What a save by
could have
Kimi.
been that could have been really bad for both Kimi and Cardinal.
That's
To be
brought
fair.
everybody right up, back to back to back, though. Druid
So,
pits.
Druid in.
third
So
to
as he
sixth
said-
within a second.
Dude,
So
in the
now we'll be
pits.
looking
Like
for
I said, of
handicaps
ultras
to
off
pit.
tyres, surely.
Honestly,
Oh,
if
super
handicaps
soft on my
pits, he's
screen.
going to come out in the middle of this big group. It's going to be like Goomba, then Kimmy, then Andy, then Cardinal, then Neglect. So if Andy pits now, he has a serious shot at a podium.
No, I can see. Yeah, definitely. He's gonna make the decision very quickly. Well, pretty soon though. So
Yeah,
Obviously,
I was
he
going to
does
say
that
within the next lap or two.
But Druid goes on to the super softs now then. So
Neglect on Cardinal.
Marvellous. With the ultra soft and
Neglect has a
having a
look.
sneak, he has a
Neglect makes
look.
it Stick.
Cardinal's a bit too cautious
was
there. Lets him
Very
through.
tight. Yeah.
Personally, that was a bit of a naughty move from Neglect.
I had a turn
Forced
camera,
him.
but I couldn't really see it.
Forced him off the track. I don't think
Kimmy's
Cardinal will be
gaining on
too happy
Goomba.
about that.
I'd go ahead and disagree somewhat. It was a bit pushy, but Cardinal hesitated on his turning, and that opened up the gap. And I think I personally would have taken that gap. So
I think everyone would have.
Kimmy gets DRS from
I'm
Goomba
just being
again.
biased towards Force India. Handicap does come out the pits.
Wow.
Comes out.
Third
Oh,
position.
in between-
Oh, really trying to
In
get in front
between
there.
Goomba and Kimmy.
He's on the
I
super
didn't even
softs.
see him go in. So we'll see if his tires turn right on or if they're cold right now. Kimmy needs to get in front of Andy right now if he wants to stay in front.
Yeah, he really does. He's got to make the move this lap, otherwise it's game over for that third position, I'd say.
Yeah.
Andy.
Those fresh
Andy
supers
just
are
seems to
going
be
to fly
driving away.
away. So now it's down to Goomba's
Kimi Raikkonen,
defense. Another penalty for
3
Kimmy.
seconds. Saying that, I don't think it would have got the podium had he have got on anyway. So on track, yes. but
So just to put this into perspective, Neglects will be P4. And Cardinal will be
necessarily.
P5.
depending on various other
Depends on Kimmy's pace.
infringements. And
Ooh, Andy tries to
Andy
have a
looks
look
to
inside.
move.
Bit weavy though. Goomba lets
Andy
him through.
takes it.
I think Goomba went intentionally deep there and came right back on track for him.
Yeah. I don't
Hold on to
think
that
he
ERS,
has a-
just sitting in the slipstream.
Oh,
Toe bump.
Neglects very deep.
Pays for it.
And Cardinal just drives
and
away
Cardinal
from him
just
now.
drives away. Yeah, drives away with that one.
On to Kimmy.
Goomba still only 8 tenths back from Andy. Andy's pulling away though. Joestar is just sprinting into the distance. 50-second gap now.
So Handicap's up 7 places. Goomba up 2.
Druid sticks in a fastest
Kimi
lap there,
up
the
two.
125.4 on the supers.
Cardinal up 7.
So it's still just 2 seconds between Goomba and Andy, so a small mistake from Andy could bring him back in for a little bit of a nibble. He hasn't got long. As soon as he really get away from 2 seconds, even little mistakes aren't really going to bring you back into the game. So he's going to be hoping maybe
Cardinal
that
closing on Kimmy as well.
Andy slips.
Anything could happen with 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. 3, 4, 5 more realistically. Andy's just kind of running away. Cardinal gaining on
So that's
Kimmy.
driver of the day.
Goomba. Andy sticks in the fastest lap, 25.1.
I can't see
I think
anyone else other than Goomba, personally.
I
I
mean,
think
Cardinal's
it's
had a
Joestar's
good
ran
Andy.
away with the race, but I can't really
Yeah.
give someone that hasn't raced in the race drive of the race, all drive of the day. So yeah, Gumba definitely.
He's had the best practice session.
He has, yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Andy. Just positions gained. He's done a really good job getting through the field. Very suboptimal tire strategy. He's had
Yeah, he has had
a
a very
tough
good
race.
race. However, if Cardinal gets Kimi Räikkönen, Cardinal will have gained 8
Same
places.
positions, yeah.
He's gained 7. He's in P5 at the moment. If he was to get P4, he would have gained 8 places.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. 3-second time penalty for Gumba. That doesn't
Gumba.
affect him, I don't think.
Goomba's had a terrific race.
Not with Kimi behind him.
I can't complain giving it to Goomba either. I mean, just watching him defend the way that he has against Kimi and Cardinal and Neglect and Druid and Andy even. I mean, it's been a really great showing for Goomba all around.
And
To be
even
fair,
though
single lap.
Kimi,
Good consistency.
Cardinal, Neglect, Gumba, they've all driven very well. Although Kimi has been cutting a lot of corners, they've all driven very well, giving us a great battle to watch. So they all
again,
deserve
36
props.
all within a
But,
second.
I think Gumba's just... He showed how confident he was when he was in front of that squabble for quite a few laps, just sitting there with low DRS. It really
And
showed
he's
that he
still in
wasn't
that
phased,
position
really.
right now. I mean,
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
a 3-car train right behind him. Hasn't phased him at all.
Yeah, not a
I
sweat.
think this is going to be his first podium if he finishes.
A very well deserved one at that as well. Absolutely brilliant.
He is in
absolutely.
low ERS at the moment.
Kimi doing a great job holding Cardinal
Cardinal
back.
all over the place behind Kimi, yeah, but he
Ooh,
still
Cardinal!
lurks, pushes him wide, and that, Jamie, was definitely a naughty move.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I
I
can't,
think Cardinal
I
might have
can't
just got a
disagree
bit
with that.
heavy on the brakes there.
That's going to deflate
Neglect having a
Kimi
look now.
massively as he drops down into 6th.
Oh! Neglect hits it
Neglect is
hard!
retired.
Oh,
Hard. I caught the very
Big,
end of that.
big
He slammed
crash.
into the wall. Exact same spot as
oh
exact
yeah.
same
So
spot as
that's
Samurai.
3 been taken down by that fast.
It's like
chicane.
Bahrain Death Corner.
Yeah, as Andy sticks in a 24. What I think that was a 24-1. It disappeared. But the gap
Yeah, I
from
didn't
Cardinal to
actually see what it
Gumba,
was, just a
teammates,
24.
just 1 second. Cardinals really trying to.
Well, I'd
Close
race
that
for 14
gap.
year I'm being team orders here. Bring home the car.
Very similar.
If you were,
Tyres.
It's faster
Cardinals
than
1
you.
lap
If you
newer.
were Otmar, Jamie, if you were Otmar in real life, what do you do in this situation? Do you give it to Goomba or do you let Cardinal race him?
This close to the end, I'd want them to bring home the car and not
Yeah.
risk anything. However, if Cardinal was so much quicker than Gumba,
Obviously, noticeably faster, yeah.
yeah, obviously I'd switch them round. But personally,
It's a tough call.
if I was the TO of Force India, I'd hate to give away Gumba's podium. Valtteri,
Yeah.
it's James.
Goomba does have about 5 times as much ERS as Cardinal, so I think Goomba's
Yeah.
safe regardless. But
He is also.
okay, so I think
low,
our
so.
at least the streamers driver of the day is going to be Goomba. Chat, what do you guys think? K-Roads
Yeah,
says, Kyle,
yeah,
one of the streamers,
K-Roads.
says Goomba in chat, but
Yeah.
it's been a great race. This has been a really good season opener. I was afraid that things were just going to be completely rowdy and people just doing whatever they want, but I mean, we've obviously had, some tough retirements and a kind of shaky start, but after about lap 3, everything was really bolted down. It feels good to be back.
It does. It does. So Gumba has 1 3-second penalty. Cardinal has none.
So Solex says SRL Andy for driver of the day, considering the start. K-Road says Cardinal if he pips and gets third, which he might. I mean, he's brought that gap back down. He's kind of yo-yoing with Goomba a little bit.
Yeah, and as Jamie was
So
saying
can we-
earlier,
I still
think
Goomba's
Goomba's
got
in the
3
best spot,
seconds
though.
and Cardinal doesn't, so as long as he
Ooh,
finishes
I'm
within
just
3
going to say
seconds.
something, lads. Kimi Raikkonen has 15 seconds worth of penalties, which is going to put him
Really get him.
sixth.
Yeah. So that'd be
Um,
plus 8 positions for Druid, plus 9 potentially for Cardinal on penalties. Three more
So
laps.
Kyle says Cardinal with third. Andy for driver of the day, considering the start from Stolex. Yeah, that's a great comeback drive, as it were.
Yeah.
Having to pit lap 1.
Softs to supers.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's been a great drive from Andy as well, definitely. It's been an amazing drive from Jugstar as well, but he hasn't really fought anyone, so it would be unfair to give it to him. But yeah, no, it's
I've just realized Seth has made 3 stops. Tough to win with that strategy.
yeah, it's not ideal. Goomba's making his way past
Sounded
Seth,
like
as you
Cardinal.
say that.
Oh wow.
So is Cardinal.
Oh yeah.
He goes
Cardinal's
very
passing
deep.
Seth. I was like, who is that?
That's Seth getting in the way of Cardinal there.
Goomba only needs to find another 1.5 seconds.
Carlos says Jugstar for dominating driver of the day. So not as cohesive as we were.
No,
All
not
saying
quite.
Goomba. That's alright though. We'll let them fight it out. It's definitely been a great race.
Oh, brilliant! There's been fights all
Just a
through,
shit.
and the midfield battle as well, between obviously Druids, Kimi, Cardinal, Goomba, Andy as well.
Neglect.
It's been neglect as well, not to forget. Yeah, Mo, Samurai was very good
Kakashi's
at
in
the
the
beginning as
midfield
well.
is going to be crazy this year for sure.
It's just a shame we've had 6 retirements
Yeah,
in the first
and
race.
some people are sick and
It's a bit
stuff.
like real life.
Yeah, we'll have 16. Well, we should have 16 as the full GP3 lobby.
So
if we
Jugstar
don't
on the
add
final
anybody
lap
else.
now. We
Make sure
watch
you follow
him
him, Lucky.
for maybe the 2nd time in the whole stream. But here he is on his final lap. He's had a dominant drive today. He's 41 seconds ahead of anyone else. Absolutely brilliant drive.
He's literally the only driver on the final lap. Still, and he still hasn't
Yeah, Andy's only rounded the last
started his
corner
final
now.
lap yet. Right,
Cardinals
it's crazy.
3/10 away from Goomba though. Gonna be a nice
Yeah, so if
last
I
lap
was
scrap between these two.
Otmar, I'd swap them round now
Yeah.
due to penalties.
Oh,
Racing time
Druid.
penalty for
Oh, Druid got the penalty. I thought Cardinal got the penalty. I was about to freak
That
out.
could've- So, Cardinal and Goomba are rounding onto the final lap now. Interesting to
Jugstar
know if
coming
they
through.
are aware of all of the penalties between each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
Ghoster
but,
on the penultimate corner.
Here comes
Make sure you
Joe.
follow him, Lucky.
I'm following him now. And here he comes across the line. Beautiful
Complete
drive.
domination.
Completely.
39 seconds in front of Andy when he crossed the
It's in
line.
the back
Cardinal
of that
over a second
Mercedes
down
engine again.
now.
Andy takes a 3-second penalty, although that won't matter too much to him.
Right.
Chronic says
Cardinals
amazing.
backed
Cardinals
off
obviously
of
made an
Goomba.
attempt and possibly scuffed it or just backed off as he
Yeah.
drops back.
He
Andy
can drop
into the
back a little
penultimate
bit,
corner
but
now.
not too far.
Goomba is in hot
Crosses
lap
the
mode, but I
line.
don't think he can make it up.
Nice little weave. Great P2 from Andy. Caps there. As we now follow Goomba and Cardinal. It's been a great fight. Good drive from the two of them.
So it should be P3 Goomba on track, but Cardinal with penalties,
G3
correct?
for Cardinal. Yeah,
Jamie, do you want to invite Jugstar and Andy and Cardinal into the party?
I can. Whether I will or
Across the
not, yeah, I
line
will.
goes Gumba and Cardinal.
And there it is, yeah.
And Kimmy follows.
Kimmy, P5.
Druid's a little way behind, but still there.
There goes Steph.
Rounds the final corner.
And
Druid
Druid finishes it off.
crosses the line.
Good race.
Good season opener, brilliant stuff.
Just waiting
Sure.
for the race director so I can invite Peter and P3 in.
It's really exciting stuff there. Great action from the first lap. A little bit scruffy, a bit of touches here and there, a bit of incidents into the wall, but really entertaining race for us there.
McLaren top step of the podium. It's a good sight.
Okay, right, I've invited the other two podium finishers.
So your top 10 finishes today. Jugstar takes a phenomenal win there with Andy Caps following just 40 seconds down the road in second place. Cardinal another 25 or 24 down the road. Great race between Cardinal and Gumba there. Brilliant fight all the way until the end. Gumba finishing third on track but losing out due to that penalty he picked up. Kimi Raikkonen 5th, Druid 6th, and Seth the last of the finishers, or the race finishers. Neglects Kakashi, Samurai and Mo. Oh no, Samurai taking up the top 10 there, so unfortunate to have so many non-finishers, but great race.
Just make sure you guys include your audio for the interview.
Yeah, I got mine in there.
Step, if you want to go ahead and start.
Hello, gents.
Yeah, so wow, I don't know what to say. What a win! 40 seconds. 40 seconds. What from
That's,
start to finish? Did you
Stop rubbing it in.
doubt yourself at any point?
I don't know, it was, car felt good. It was, the setup I had was very stable. Didn't ever feel like I had any problems with it. Just was smooth.
That's brilliant. It was
Short,
just
sweet, to the point.
yeah, it really was great. It was short, sweet. To watch you, it was brilliant. Very fast, very smooth, very consistent. I can't really fault you. So fantastic stuff is all I can say, really.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I have a question for Jugstar. Obviously, like Lucky said, and as everybody saw, you just ran away with everything today. You said that the car felt really good. Do you think that your pace is just naturally that much better than everybody else's, or did you just have a really good setup on, or is this a good track for you, or I just don't really know you as a driver, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, I used to play in GP1, so I had pretty decent pace. This is the first time I've raced with these guys, really. I think that SRL Andy Caps guy, I think he had a lot of pace, but he just had an unfortunate crash there in Q1 and wasn't really able to qualify. So I think if he would have qualified closer up there, yeah, if he would have qualified up closer, I bet the race I wouldn't have been 40 seconds ahead.
Yeah, well, it was an excellent race, and good start to the season for you with 25 points.
Yep, thanks.
On down to Andy.
So, Andy, bit of a up and down for you to start with. You had the incident at the start, which really didn't help at all. But you properly fought. You properly came back, and you got second. What were you thinking after that first lap?
I'm just going to jump in here, Lucky, and say Andy's not even in the party, so you're just talking to yourself.
That's awkward.
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know what you're on about, mate. It's right there. So we'll move on to our third place finisher, Cardinal. That fight,
Yes,
the fight during the end, I mean, it was a great drive throughout, and I'll let Jamie and Sam ask some more questions, but that fight to the end, did you know about the penalty on Gumba or not? Were you guys aware of that?
No, I
fighting?
did. No, I did not. Actually, I went over my mic and I told Goomba, I said, "You got this. This is a team win. We're going to take the 3-4. I'm not going to fight you." So no, I didn't
That's
know.
awesome.
That's what I said. I'm
I
forcing you to.
I was not
so.
trying to push him, So yeah, I wanted the 3-4 win at least.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you
So-
still got it. You just personally came out better.
Yeah, right. I'll take it. It's my first one.
Oh, first podium. Congrats, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. And I
Jumpstart
was
too.
running.
I'm not sure if you've ever gotten a podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won that
The,
season.
the early ready up, I think it was Andy. He's in the Ferrari. That cut him off, and he went sideways. So I had to wait for him to get in reverse, get away from the wall before we could even get going. That's how far we were behind.
I saw you guys at the start. It looked like he just completely hammered his throttle off the lights and just completely lost the back and went sideways.
Yeah, I just almost T-boned him, but like I said, it's better to wait than damage your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that you kind of have the same sort of pace as Andy and Jugstar? Like, could you be up there fighting for pole if you get a good start?
I think so.
I think so too. You had a really good comeback drive.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I do take my run seriously. And I experimented with heavier ballast this race, so I could not go flat out through the corners that I normally went flat out through. So I know now that the ballast is different online than it is offline.
For sure.
I didn't know that, kids.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to say from a personal note, it feels good having more Americans in here, more than just me and Eric and Kyle. So
Yeah.
represent.
Yeah.
We love it over here. I've always loved F1.
Yeah, me
To
too.
me, that's racing. That's racing.
Question
See,
for
we're not all
American
fans.
drivers and our American viewers. Is Formula One better than NASCAR?
Oh, by far.
It's
Is it
different,
what? Sorry.
but it is better.
It's a completely different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah.
The cars are just so stripped down in NASCAR.
It's better, yeah. Yeah, they're waste. Did you see the wings last year? Yeah. There's no downforce on them. They don't do anything like they used to.
Yeah.
So, that's part of what put Wickens up in the fence.
Yeah. All right. Enough banter.
I'm
We
gonna
can
be honest with you.
that for sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, stream. I'm sorry, guys.
No, but thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to you top three finishers and the rest of the grid, of course. It was a brilliant race to watch, commentate on. I want to say thank you to Jamie and Sam as well for popping in, helping me out with this. And I want to say thank you to SF1 and, of course, all the viewers and all of the supporters that we've got. You really do a great job to help us out. So I'll leave you with some last words from Sam and Jamie. And thank you very much for the season
Yeah.
opener.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
you.
I just want to echo everything that Lucky said. Thanks to all the drivers for showing up and racing clean and sticking with us. I know that the end of last season and the end of last year kind of left things up in the air a little bit, but we all really came together and picked up the slack, and I think it shows that we really have our shit together and we know what we're doing, and it's going to be a good league and a good season. So
Yeah, no, that's cool.
thanks to
One big Formula One community.
yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
All right, boys.
Good night.